everyone, it's Marielle. Welcome to Manifesting with Marielle. This new episode, I'm super excited because I have one of my best friends here who I love. Oh, excuse me. Sorry about that. Yes, but honey, can you go? So when it's not my kids, it's my other kid, right? So I'm really excited because Natalia here is joining me, Dr. Natalia Rusitskaya, who is a clinical sexologist and relationship expert. And today we're talking a little bit about a lot of little things, right? But I've personally worked with you. Thank you for joining me, Natalia. For a while when you were first launching your business or I should say redesigning your business. And you know, we worked on manifesting some things in your business and in your personal life and in your wallet. And one of the reasons why I was so excited that you said yes to joining me here is because one of the discoveries that we made was about relationships and how that was getting in the way of you actually achieving your goal. And it was like, I remember the moment you had that breakthrough, and I think I was in Cabo or something, and we set a goal. And we'll talk a little bit about that. And we discovered that big thing that was kind of standing in your way, and it has to do with relationships. And I wanted to talk about it here because obviously you guys know I'm obsessed with the topic of manifestation, but also because it's something that I think a lot of women struggle with, and they're not necessarily even aware of it because it's one of those really deeply subconscious things, right, that gets in our way. So Natalia, before I move on, thank you for joining me. You know, I love you, and I've always loved working with you and being part of your journey. So tell us a little bit about what you do. Tell everyone a little bit about what you do as a clinical sexologist and relationship expert.
Sure. I'm seeing mostly couples in my practice, sometimes individual clients, and work with different type of sexual concerns, sexual dysfunctions, and anything related to relationships. It could be any infidelity situations or poor communication or anger management, like anything that arises in the couples dynamic. But one of the most difficult conversations couples actually have or don't even have because they're so difficult. They are don't even dare, often for years, to have those conversations at home, and they bring them to my office about sex, which was kind of predictable for me when I was going into this field. But then I started discovering that also about money as well. And they absolutely sometimes being married for a few years, being in long-term committed relationships for a long chunk of time, they don't know how to talk about money, and they really need a lot of guidance. Like recently, I had a couple, they've been together over maybe 12 or 13 years, and they never learned how to really speak about money. And now they're actually in the process of separating and just started money conversations with me in sessions. It's just unbelievable
Yeah,
how,
it's really
triggering and difficult it could be.
totally. And it's really interesting how money really does change things, and or at least we think that it's going to change things, and it does. It influences the happiness and well-being of a relationship. But so let's talk a little bit about what you wanted to manifest when you hired me as your coach.
You asked me actually a few days ago that question, and I had to start remembering where was I 5 or 6 years ago when we started working together. And I just
Was it
wanted
that
to.
long ago? Oh my gosh.
I think so. I remember we were both pregnant, and based on the age of
Right.
our children, that's
Yep.
how that's how I could calculate. But I'm so glad to have this conversation with you today, because when I'm being asked to speak about different topics right now, other interviews, often it's about relationships purely, or sex or sexual education, and nobody ever asked me about manifestation and how manifestation could be connected to relationships. And it was cool kind of to start thinking about this topic. And I think I will start even using the word manifestation more frequently in my professional vocabulary. because I usually speak how we can improve or redesign or change the relationship. But I think it's a really great word to start incorporating more, like in what I'm doing, how to help you manifest a different relationship. Um,
Exactly. So when
so
you first started working with me, I remember there were a couple of goals you had, right?
yeah,
You had just gotten your PhD. You were about to launch your private practice, and
yeah, I left,
tell us a
yeah,
little
my
bit about that.
full-time job and part-time job. I always had to work like two jobs to make enough money to, afford what I wanted to afford in my life. Yes, and you helped me to really understand what my needs and wants were at that time and how much it required me to produce per year per
So
that.
in other words, I said, you need to make more money. If you want to continue doing this, this, and this, I was like,
Yeah,
we need to get you to the next level financially, right?
yes,
You have
totally.
expensive habits, Natalia.
Still cannot change that, so I'm figuring out how to destroy some of those like money mindsets that were on the way for multiple years.
And so when we first started working together, you were doing well. I mean, you were already working in your field. You were working two different jobs within the social working
Yeah.
sphere. But tell everyone what you discovered was actually really getting in the way of you actually wanting and being fully on board in manifesting more money. Because I believe that back then we were like, okay, you need to get to six figures this year. And you were probably at half that, but the goal
Yeah.
was to get you over the hump, to that
Yeah.
six-figure level, right? So tell everyone what it was that you discovered about your relationship.
And it's not about just one relationship. Like I was thinking like how it was affecting me through the whole life. I mean, I come from a different country and I realized with your help that there were quite a few deeply ingrained beliefs that we had to destroy. So I could start making more money, and like, so money, to have money is bad, and honorable and good people don't have a lot of money based on, how my parents were raising me. What else? Well, I was initially, my first marriage was with the Russian husband, and I was thinking in my Russian brain that it's really bad if I start making more than my husband, because it might make him feel inadequate in relationship with me. So I should definitely kind of tone it down and really like be like modest in terms of what
Oh
I'm
my
made.
God, this is so big. This is one of the biggest unconscious blocks,
What?
Natalia, that I see in women in particular. It's
Mm,
that fear of, but if what does it mean about me? Then what does it mean about my family? What does it mean about my relationship if I am more successful financially? Or if is and do you think there is like this unconscious link between the man being the provider, the main provider, the one that makes more money, and feeling sexy and feeling like taken care of? Because you know that one of my passions is talking about archetypes, right? And with
yes.
archetypes are, hand in hand are these archetypal stories. And there's these stories about the damsel in distress and the princess and the knight in shining armor, and we grow up with these
Yeah,
stories. These
totally.
stories
It
are
was my story.
deeply ingrained.
Yeah, I think you did identify that I was not one of those damsels in distress. And I always wanted to feel like this, like little princess, like to be taken care of, to be catered to. That he, like a man of my life, should be really like protecting me, providing for me, and I should be just like relax and do a little bit of what I enjoy, but not that much.
But
For
not be the breadwinner,
Да,
so
no,
to
no, not
speak.
be the breadwinner. Yeah,
So
it
go
was
ahead.
very um like shaking for me. I think you did with me like one of the guided visualizations when I was like started like realizing all of this first time, like more consciously, and then you, like, what was particularly helpful, that you helped me to create a new, like, we already had a couple of affirmations I was implementing for myself and to take myself on a different level financially. But here, so one of my fears was, right, that I was, if I make more, I will not be sexy. I'll be so exhausted, so busy, that it will make me more like a machine, and I will not be able, yeah, to be an attractive and sensual and sexy woman. And you told, like, I think you helped me to come up with, like, with one liner. How did you phrase it for me? I am a financially independent Aphrodite. And here you connected for me, right? Like those, like, two parts, like ability to be actually more financially independent, not having this need to rely on anybody or anything, but also still
I'm a
remain.
financially independent, sexy goddess.
Yeah, yes. So I was like, okay, that sounds good. Let me try if I could be that. I like the image.
And you did become that. I mean, you have
I
tripled.
feel more of that, totally.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting how we can have conflicting wants, right? Like I want to be the damsel in distress and the princess, and I want to be rescued and taken care of, and I want to feel sexy and beautiful like that. But at the same time, I want to be a powerhouse.
Yeah.
I want to be independent. I want to be able to call my own shots. I want to be able to contribute and be equal. So I think it's really interesting how those two different stories can really go head and head, which I think was exactly what happened when we started
Yes,
working together. Um,
total.
one of our viewers, I can't see the name here, but let's see, show says, I was the owner who rescued the male damsel.
Yeah,
I love that.
that's another scenario, right?
That's another scenario. You know, I feel like I said, I'm super passionate and interested in this whole theory of archetypes and archetypal stories and mythology and how we subconsciously follow these things. They're just stories that we subconsciously fulfill within our lives. And so I get really geeky about how those things get in our way of manifesting the things that we want. And so when you discovered that, oh my God, I that fear that you had that fear, like
That
what are
was so limiting. It's like it really limits your abilities, totally.
so how did you change it? What did you do?
Well,
Because
I
I mean,
think,
we worked on a lot of mindset, you and
yeah.
I, but we also worked on a lot of business strategy, right? Was it
Yeah.
hard to take the next steps that you needed to take, or did you feel like it was easier to take those steps once you understood those things?
Um, some steps were, um, manageable for me to take. Some steps I still did not take properly the way you were guiding me. I still have some fears, especially, even like showing up here today visually, like it's still kind of a little bit uneasy for me, but I think I should get
So
over
gorgeous.
it. Thank you. But yes, it's I think it's a complex, right? It's a few different things that I'm doing for myself more consciously, targeting, like, to destroy those beliefs and to create new mindsets. First of all, like, following through all of your guidance with business strategy, with using affirmations, but also kind of, I started, like, learning more about, um, like, different exercises, how to use, accumulate and store sexual energy internally in my body, and then use it as the inner resource available for me when I feel like I'm losing energy. One of the exercises I've been doing for the last maybe year and a half, it's called Avarian breathing technique, and it's targeted primarily to accumulate more of the sexual energy, but as the kind of as the side effect or some, like, not really spoken thing, it's also works for creating more business, drawing more money into your life. So I'm even more motivated, like, to do this type of meditation every other morning, because I know like I'm drawing, when I do my ovarian breathing technique, more money and more people into the business.
That's
And
amazing. And that's because why? Is it because that chakra, I think it's the sacral
yeah,
chakra and the root chakra are the ones that really where a lot of the creative energy is in our body, right? Is that why it is? I've
yes, yeah,
actually, I did it wasn't really ovarian breathing, but I remember one day I went into meditation, and I think I told you about this once.
yeah,
How I went into meditation and I literally just let myself, it's kind of like a self hypnosis, let myself go and let myself be taken to wherever I was going to be taken. And I was literally taken into that part of my body. And and just so much happened, and I cut so many different ties, and I saw so many of my of like
ancestors,
ancestors, and not that I could see their faces, but I knew that they were there almost like shadows, and I did a ton of healing in that one session. And
yes.
I remember telling you this because I remembered you telling me about ovarian breathing, and I was like, I wonder if that's what I did. I'm not sure if that's what I did, but
Well,
after
not
that
not
happened,
exactly, but you did some healing and
but
uh,
it was within the same chakra,
yes,
right? And
total.
after I did that healing, I felt like I was walking on air. Like I literally felt like my aura, my magnetism, like all of that just increase. So the point of that, and the reason I wanted to mention it, is because I really do feel like there's a lot of techniques out there that people like yourself are teaching others to
Yes,
use our sexuality and our sexual energy as chi to move us forward in becoming stronger, more
yes,
whole, and getting what we want, because that's what manifestation is, right? Being able to co-create the things that you want.
and kind of, and also how to balance our masculine and feminine energies.
Let's talk about that.
Well, I'm not like really like officially teaching that, but the lady who was teaching me Ovarian breath, so I spoke to her recently, and she is located in Europe, and it was interesting about her observation. I was like, what do you think about where I am energetically right now? And she says, when I met you 2 years ago, you were like, your yin was like kind of too overpowering. I had like a little bit too much of that feminine, gentle kind of energy, and now she feels like I'm more balanced, that my yin
You
and
have too much damsel.
yeah, less of that. So I feel like, and she like, or somebody like was writing about it recently. I saw like it's, how to feel or how to really like know more of that balance. Imagining the tree, right? The tree has this like strong trunk, right? Strong foundation and strong like roots, but also very gentle and nice leaves. And it all kind of, you can see all of that in just in one that creation, that nice balance of this gentle and more like strong and powerful and successful energy. So she said, I'm more balanced right now. So I was like, oh, that's really cool to hear it. So maybe, that's why I'm more progressing in the business as well.
Absolutely, because and I am not definitely not the expert in ovarian breathing, or that kind of using that for manifestation, but I have heard you talk about it. I've heard other clients of mine that specialize in sexology and helping people connect in that way, and be more intimate, talk about what is it called? I think you've mentioned it before. Orgasmic manif-
Orgasmic meditation or manifestation. Well,
manifestation. Tell us about that.
I learned about it actually comparatively recently. I took it was like a really cool 3-day course by Jaya, who is a somatic sexologist, and it's called the Path to Passion, kind of finding your way to passion. And she was just like so kind of explicit about it, about her own orgasms, and demonstrated some. She is like energetic type in terms of feeling like turned on by different stimulus. And she showed us how her husband could energetically take her to this energetic, extended, extensive orgasm, which I honestly never witnessed anything like this before, not in person, not not in recording. But it was like a lengthy experience. She was like laying on a massage table, and he was stimulating her, like not touching her body, but on an energetic level, and arousing her to the level where she was getting like very turned on and becoming orgasmic. And her orgasm lasted, it came like in waves, and it lasted, I don't know for how many minutes. And she shared,
Wow.
yeah, it was like really, really cool, like something definitely to explore more for myself.
Go, Natalia.
Yeah. And
Well,
so she, so can I finish the story?
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, please.
So then she shared with us that she kind of, how she uses her own, like, and you were teaching it like even the beginning of last week, to manifest something, right? It's like you need to have very positive, joyful vibration, right?
Yep.
And to create it, you have to create it for yourself, start your day in a joyful way to manifest more. So how Jaya does that, so she said like that she starts her mornings from those morning orgasms where it's scheduled in her daily planner, morning orgasm, starting day from pleasure. And now I could understand, because she can be in that state of orgasm for such a long time. So then she says like she's either looking at her vision board or looking at some, or imagining certain slides.
Focusing the energy.
Yes, that she kind of wants to kind of visualize for herself in terms of her mission in this world, mission of her business, and that's how she begins her day. So it could be a very
Wow.
thing kind of to figure out how to do it, because you need to get turned on while looking at those images. So I don't know if everybody could do it, but you could try.
Yeah.
Actually, I tried today myself. It was a challenge to thinking about my goals and trying to get turned aroused at the same time. But sounds like a cool approach.
Well, it makes a lot of sense because what it sounds like she's talking about and teaching is you get yourself to that really high vibrational level
Yes.
when you start to actually shift your attention to what you want.
Yes.
So I've never
Totally.
tried it, but it sounds like it's what's happening.
Yes.
Like you're
Totally.
you're you're using your intention, matching it with a really high frequency,
Yes.
and putting it out into the world.
Yeah.
I think it's fascinating. I think it's
Yeah.
fascinating.
Should be
Um,
should be super effective. We should add it to your manifestation.
Well, you know what? I think you should add it to yours because yeah, the process that you take people through, which is
Yeah.
keys to connection, you've helped so many people, so many couples get back in touch with themselves, each
Yeah.
other, and intimate with each other because I know that it's something that a lot of people struggle with, and especially long-term relationships, people that come from different cultures. But do you think that this is something that eventually you'll add to your own toolbox?
I think so. I really like this idea but I don't like teaching my own clients something that I did not master myself. So my
That's
goal will
right.
be like first to master it myself. Like let's see how next few months go, and then probably it will be part of my package, my
I,
key to connection relationship package.
yes. And okay, so let's talk about like what's next for you. Like what are you looking to I know what's next for you, but I would like for you to share with everyone else like where are you looking to take your business next? And what are some of the things that you have to consciously become aware of now and get over so that you can get there?
Wow, that's a hard question, because I'm thinking like a little bit like more like, okay, my next little step. Like I just posted, my advertisement to hire another therapist for my practice, which I
Yeah,
think
your
I tried
practice
to
is
post
grown.
it in the group, but I didn't go through, right, for some reason.
I'm not sure. I'll look into it.
Okay. Okay, so definitely like having another therapist, because it sounds like now we're getting, because of COVID, probably we're getting more and more busy with, people having many more like mental health challenges and relationship challenges. So we definitely need another person on the team right now. Where else I'm going? I mean, I'm switching completely now to electronic records, which is a huge challenge for me, but I need to adjust and adapt and figure it out how to transition to do more things electronically and billing system and everything else. What else I'm doing? Mm, I don't even know. Well, running like supervision group for the professionals who already working for me and teaching them. So it's a little bit of a new twist for me for the last like year and a half, finding myself more in the role of the teacher, which I'm,
Well, and here's what I'm hearing from you. I'm hearing
yeah.
you are looking to manifest more freedom.
Yes. Oh,
You're
totally,
looking,
totally.
you're looking to manifest more of that laptop like portability
Yeah,
and
and you
not
you were
being stuck. Sorry?
yeah, and you were telling me like since we met like 5 or 6 years ago, it should be more online. You should figure out how to see people less. I'm like, no, I really like my in-person sessions, but I'm feeling much more comfortable now with having my business online, and definitely it makes it like outstandingly cool that I could be somewhere else currently, like at least in Florida or even in another country, and still see my clients, and then less resistant to that. They're more open and I'm more open. So definitely like more freedom and more flexibility and more being more portable totally for this year.
Totally. Well, I think that's
Yeah.
awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. And thank you for sharing such an intimate story about yourself, and how you discovered your own money, not money mindset blocks, but yeah, kind of like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
money mindset blocks that were so married to relate to your relationship, and
Yes.
how you saw yourself, and how we have to, before we can really start manifesting the stuff that we really want to, we have to work through a lot of those blocks, right? And
Yeah.
so I think it's really, really important to look at our relationships and see, am I afraid of anything when it comes to my relationship? A lot of women are afraid of not being liked anymore,
Yeah.
not feeling sexy anymore, not having the night. Like if I can support myself and I have all this freedom and I have all this power, then why the hell do I need a night? I don't need a night to save me, right? So it's
Yeah.
like becoming aware of those things is definitely worthwhile, and answering those questions for yourself is so worthwhile when you're really looking to become an active, co-creator, manifesting goddess for your life and for your business. So Natalia,
Can,
thank you so
can,
much.
can I
Sure.
mention just one little thing here? So, just like as a little tip, maybe for women as well. When I also see it otherwise, when I get some clients who are like very highly successful women, but whose relationships are crumbling. So I think it's important also like still remind yourself of that balance, right? About that yin and yang, that feminine and masculine energy, how to have it more intact, even for the sake of your relationship. So you're not just focused on your numbers and on how much money you're making, but also you still your partner, if you have male or female partner, that this other person still feels seen, noticed, and loved in that relationship. So, mhm.
Absolutely. Awesome. Thank you, Natalia. Thank you so much
Sure.
for joining me. And you guys, if anybody out there in the audience is looking for help, and you're looking for a relationship therapist or someone who can really give you the keys to connection for your own relationship, I highly, highly, highly recommend Natalia. I know that you're usually booked out, months in advance, but she is amazing. She's got this amazing process. I actually know the process because I helped you create organize your system, which was so much fun to me. So definitely
Totally.
reach out to her. And where can they find you, Natalia? What website?
Well, talking about key to connection, right? So it's called key to connection.com. And yeah, and now I have more help in my practice. I have two other amazing therapists. So if I'm not available, I could definitely find a good match for people, and I will supervise my other therapists. So definitely, I will try to take care of you ladies or whoever needs help as much as we can on the best level. Thank you so
Awesome.
much for forcing me, kind of encouraging me to think more about manifestation and what it means for me, professionally and personally.
Well, you're welcome. You know, I'm always going to push you.
Yes, good. That's why I'm still here, because you keep pushing me. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Natalia. And for everyone else out there, I love helping transformational women really make money and just reach the success that they're yearning for. This week, actually, we are having open enrollment for one of our hottest programs. It's actually a full week program. It's more like a boot camp, actually. I call it the Modern Mystic Money Making Offer Lab. So, if you are looking to organize your offers, or you feel like you have so many ideas all the time, or you get on conversations on sales calls and people just don't ever take it to the next level, then this is an amazing workshop for you. It's one full week, and in 1 week, you actually create your high ticket or redesign your high ticket offer and your mid ticket offer. It's amazing, and you can find out more about it at what is my new website that I have? The Money Making Offer website, moneymakingofferlab.com. All right, you guys. So thank you so much for hanging in there with me and spending this time with me. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to myself, someone on my team, Marielle at mariellealvarado.com. And I encourage everyone on here to check out Natalia. She's amazing. And I'm always encouraging her to do more online, but she actually loves working one-on-one with people, which is something that I really love about you, because it's so authentic. It's like, you know what you love to do. And I think that's just so refreshing as well. So thank you, Natalia. And I will see you guys for another episode of Manifesting with Marielle very soon. Mwah. Peace out.
Bye. Thank you.